Hello Libra and welcome to my channel Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. We're looking at all three sides of it. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle. These energies can absolutely be swapped. So if you end up resonating more with the energy to my right than to my left, that's totally fine and totally normal, especially if you're a cross watcher. You know, you could end up resonating more with the energy to my left. Do remember these are general readings. They are not here to resonate with everyone, but for the people that are needing to hear these messages. So do take what resonates and helps your personal situation and leave what does not. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. All right, Libra, as always, I've gone ahead and pulled the oracle cards for each side of the connection. We have a different tarot deck we'll be diving into each side as well. I've actually clarified these these oracle cards with a fourth tarot deck. So 4 different tarot decks will be used in this reading. So hopefully we can get quite a bit of clarity. On your side of this connection, Libra, you have release with the 8 of Wands. I feel like you feel that things are very up in the air when it comes to this connection. Things are very uncertain right now. Now, with the 8 of Wands, to me, that's kind of a card of like, things are up in the air, but you've done all you can. Like things are kind of outside of your control right now. And I feel like that's what you're struggling with the most is I do feel like you don't have control over kind of how this is going to play out for you. Now, this person, they have a jealousy with the 9 of Cups in reverse. So right now they have kind of a negative perception toward this connection, not necessarily toward you, just toward the connection. Now, this jealousy card is interesting because I don't necessarily know if they're jealous of maybe someone else or if they're jealous of the way that you're handling things. Maybe you've been all cool, calm, and collected, and they've kind of that's kind of been bothering them or something along the lines there. It doesn't necessarily feel like an immature jealousy. It's not always how I read this card. But I do feel like right now they kind of have this like negative view towards this connection in a way. It's bringing up a lot of maybe insecurity for them and things of that sort. So I feel like they're having a hard time seeing, the situation clearly. Now, in between this connection, you guys have soulmate with the Knight of Cups in reverse. I do feel like this is a soulmate connection. But remember, we have plenty of soulmates that we do meet in this life. But if this connection feels very intense and very triggering, that's why. Oftentimes the soulmate card to me, it doesn't necessarily, I don't like to label connections all that much because I think that can get us caught on unrealistic expectations of how a connection should pan out. But specifically with this soulmate card, this is like an intense connection with someone that is kind of here in your life for a reason. So I definitely feel like it's been a very triggering connection, but that's because of this intensity that exists between it. So let's start, Libra, on your side of this connection, clarifying release with the 8 of Wands. This is Libra's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. Libra's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with one more time. More Libra's side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. This is for Libra's side of this connection. Libra's side of this connection. There's the 10 of Wands in reverse or the 8 of Cups in reverse. Okay. Ooh, okay. Ooh, and there's the same 9 of Cups in reverse as they have. I feel like you saw possibly, if this is more present tense for you, a lot of long-term potential in this connection. But I also feel like you have a tendency to take on a lot of this person's stuff. And that leaves you feeling like you're both dealing with like your stuff, your emotional burdens and theirs. And I feel like that kind of starts to get, it starts to weigh on you. Now, I don't feel like things have necessarily gone the way that you wished they would in this connection, especially when it comes to how you were hoping things would play out for the long term. But I do also feel like whether or not you're able to see it yet, things are still working out for you. Now, of course, that is kind of a mantra for me and on my channel, just that, everything is happening for you, not to you. But I feel like with this connection in particular, that's definitely coming through. Libra's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. The Knight of Wands in reverse with the Devil. Okay. So there is a little bit of, and bear with me here, Libra, codependency coming up in this reading. And specifically on your side of the connection. Now, I feel like that could be you have a tendency to get a lot of your value from feeling needed. And maybe this person, like you've taken on their emotional burdens because there is a level of you that is used to doing that for other people. That's how you've always shown love, is you've kind of taken on other people's stuff for you. Now that can end up being that can end up sabotaging a connection, is when you start taking on someone's stuff too much, it turns into, you're not helping them heal, but you're actually kind of doing or trying to, not that we can ever do the healing for someone, but you're, trying to do the healing for them. You're trying to heal them. Now, oftentimes when we do that, we're trying to heal ourselves through healing other people. So I feel like there's a little bit of codependency here that's keeping this connection from being able to fully come together in a healthy way. And I definitely feel like this codependent aspect is having a tendency to sabotage things here a little bit. And remember, this is just on your side. We haven't dove into their side yet. So this isn't me saying that this is all on you or anything like that, because that is never the case. Remember, 3 sides to every story, right? So kind of your version, their version, and this higher level truth in the middle. So, all right, Libra side of this connection. The Queen of Cups in reverse. I feel like you're a little out of touch with your emotions here, Libra, because then you have that Knight of Swords in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse. I almost feel like this connection has become so heavy for you that you've kind of shut off a little bit. I feel like it was so overwhelming that it just feels like you kind of had to shut yourself off. Now, I feel like you did that because you can't bear your own and somebody else's burdens sustainably for the long term. It just doesn't work. And I feel like that's kind of what you're dealing with here. Now, this release card is interesting because it feels like there's some sort of like an emotional release happening through this connection. I don't know. That seems to, I want clarity on this release card for Libra with the 8 of Wands. This is for Libra's side of the connection. This is for Libra's side of the connection. Yeah, so it's like you haven't been honest with yourself about how you've been feeling in this connection here, Libra. I feel like you've been trying to put on this, like, maybe brave face, take on the burdens of this person and just kind of like push through, trying to keep the peace. And I feel like that's left you feeling, well, honestly, like you feel right now. It's kind of left you with, like, now you feel so overwhelmed that I feel like you don't know how to sort through how you feel. This is Libra's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. This is Libra's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. This is for Libra's side of this connection. Libra's side of this connection. The Emperor with the Judgment. Libra, you have some rose-colored glasses on when it comes to this person. And I feel like you do that because I do feel like you have love for this person. I feel like it's really easy for you to focus on the things that you love about them, that you like about them, that are good about them, that you have a tendency to ignore the stuff that isn't so good, and specifically the ways that this person makes you feel in a negative way. Now, that doesn't mean that, facing the way that this person makes you feel in a negative way does not mean that this connection is doomed or anything like that. It just means that there's this need to do that so that you don't bury yourself in the emotional burdens of both people. Because if you do that, there is no way that this connection is going to be able to play out for the long term. And so I feel like there's this need to be a little bit more honest with yourself about maybe how this how this person ultimately makes you feel, instead of looking at it from, only the good you know, through the rose-colored glasses, right? Looking at only the good aspects of the connection. This is Libra's side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. This is Libra's side of this connection. See, because I feel like there are changes that are needed on your side if this is ever going to come together in a healthy way. And I feel like what that's ultimately going to be, Libra, is boundaries. Learning to set boundaries. I want more on this Ace of Wands in reverse, but it's like you're not able to take action toward setting those boundaries. Oh, okay. That's a little different than I thought. I'm going to finish that. You're not going to be able to take action towards setting those boundaries until you recognize what boundaries you really need and what exactly, like how exactly to set them. I guess that makes sense. Like you can't set boundaries if you're not being honest about the fact that you need them. The 10 of Cups in reverse with the Temperance in reverse. There, you have certain expectations of this person. I don't know if it's necessarily like you're, you know, kind of hoping for their potential, or you're wanting them to kind of open their eyes and realize what they've been doing to you, or whatever the case is. And the less that happens, the more that your expectations kind of get stomped on here, the more frustrating it feels, and the more that I feel like you start to get triggered and have to face kind of a lot of these kind of uncomfortable emotions that you're having to experience. So this release, it really is like an emotional release in a way. It's like this need to kind of be very honest with yourself, no matter, you know, how painful that might be, about how this connection makes you feel, so that you can ultimately, so that you can give it a chance, right? All right, this is this person's energy toward Libra. Let's see what they are dealing with. 9 of Cups in reverse with jealousy. This is this person's 9 of Cups in reverse with jealousy. What is this person's energy toward Libra? I feel like this person is ultimately kind of jealous of maybe your strength a little bit. How well you've been able to handle things. Let's get more. Ooh, okay. I feel like they walked away. And to be honest, Libra, I think that they kind of wanted you to chase them in a way. Because the Sun in reverse is like, kind of to me can be like a card of ego. And it feels like when someone walks away with their ego, it's because they're trying to get something out of it. Validation of some sort, right? I mean, with the King of Cups in reverse on the bottom, this person has a tendency to be a little bit emotionally manipulative. Doesn't mean that they're like a manipulative person. You know, all of us have a tendency to be emotionally manipulative in some way, shape, or form. And I feel like there's this need to kind of see, like, the truth. I don't know. It's like, I feel like you have so much empathy for them, Libra, that it's hard for you to see, like, the reality of how they treat you. This person's energy toward Libra. There's the 8 of Wands. See, I feel like they keep things uncertain. Things feel up in the air for you because I feel like they that's their intention. I feel like that's how they kind of keep you hanging on here, Libra, because the more that someone makes us feel uncertain about something, the more we're going to fight for it, right? Not always, but, you know, from the eyes of this person. And I feel like that's kind of what they have this perception of. It's like they make you feel uncertain so that they can get the validation that they need, that their ego ultimately needs. Okay, interesting. This person's energy toward Libra. This person's energy toward Libra, please. This person's energy toward Libra. The Seven of Pentacles with the Star in reverse. Huh. They aren't really the kind of person that does a whole lot of healing, it feels like. Maybe they don't, they're not really super honest with themselves about their fears, their insecurities, their doubts, especially when it comes to love. And because this connection is very triggering, I feel like it brings a lot of that up for this person, and then they handle it not really in the best way, because I don't feel like they actually know how to handle it in a mature way. And so I feel like it's like they want to invest in it in a healthy way, but I literally don't know if they know how. This person's energy toward Libra. This person's energy toward Libra, please. The Ace of Cups. Oh, that's definitely in reverse. And then the Three of Wands in reverse. So they have this tendency to also do this Ace of Cups in reverse, to do a little bit of suppressing here. I always think it's interesting when the same card comes out in like the same placement, and it happens a lot. But I feel like it's in a different way. Like maybe you're able to see, well, they suppress their emotions and they walk away from things that are good for them. Like they're running from the situation. It's like, okay, but at the same time, you kind of are too, just in a different way. Because I feel like they have a tendency to push down the way that they feel and, choose kind of the safe route, the route that makes them feel the safest, which honestly could be walking away, sabotaging, right? And I feel like for you, the route that makes you feel safest is, sticking around even when someone doesn't treat you all that well. Now, again, that does not mean that this is like a doomed connection. That's not what I'm saying. But looking at kind of the truth of how this connection is making you feel and not focusing so much on this person can really help you, because I feel like you need to take in a little bit more account, like your own feelings here, Libra, because I feel like you're putting like you're taking care of this person in a way, or at least you have in the past, and like it's kind of left you without the energy that you need to give yourself. This person's energy toward Libra. Actually, you know what? I want more on this jealousy card. I want to clarify this jealousy with the Nine of Cups in reverse. Jealousy with the Nine of Cups in reverse, please. For this person's energy toward Libra. Oh, so there they are. Because remember, we had this over here when I said like the Judgment of the Emperor, and I was like, you see this person through rose-colored glasses. Because this person, they're not very mature emotionally. And so it feels like they handle things. Yeah, okay. They handle things in a very emotionally immature way. And I feel like there's a part of you that maybe knows that a little bit. And that's where you take on a lot of that burden, is like, their shortfalls or shortcomings, especially emotionally, especially if this person's emotionally unavailable. That's what you ultimately want to watch out for, is make sure that this person is not emotionally unavailable. But if they are, making sure that you don't take on that burden of their emotional unavailability and specifically try to change that aspect of them, because that can leave you with trying to prove yourself or your worth to someone who isn't really capable of seeing it. Not because you're not worthy, but because they don't have the emotional depth to be able to fully, see things with that level of maturity. this person's energy toward Libra. Emotional maturity has been a huge theme this week. This person's energy for Libra, please. See, they are disappointed by how things are. Because there is love here. Now, I feel like you have no idea about this. And it's because of the way that they handle situations. It doesn't come from this emotionally mature place. So they kind of handle things with, it's like they feel feelings, and then the way that they handle that is like making it your problem in a way. Okay, Libra, we're going to hop on over to the extended. I'm going to look at the truth of this connection. We have soulmate and Knight of Cups in reverse. We're going to pull 9 different cards for this, and then I have an overall advice card to pull at the end. Thank you so much, Libra, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you are needing today. And as always, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. All right, bye, Libra.